Simple interest. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about simple interest. Now, first of all, let's just talk about what interest is. Okay. Now, there's actually two ways in which we look at interest. First of all, we can earn interest, and secondly, we can pay interest. Now, you basically earn interest. You can earn interest when you invest your money, like into some sort of financial institution, but you can pay money when you can pay interest when you borrow the money. And when you borrow it, you have to repay it, and the extra you repay is called the interest, the extra amount that you repay. So that one's actually a cost, whereas this one is the extra that is paid, will be paid to you. And it's like extra money that you actually make. Okay, now there are actually two types of interest, and we're going to look at the other one later on. You'll look at the other one that's called compound interest. The one we're looking at the moment is called simple interest. Now, with simple interest, basically, it's a fixed amount each year. So with simple interest, it's a fixed amount, and it will be exactly the same each year. Okay. Sometimes we call it a flat rate because it is the same. Unlike compound interest, where you either earn interest on your interest, or it's basically, you're earning interest on your interest, especially like when you do an investment. Okay, so we're going to look at a couple of different skills. The first one is just actually finding the interest that you make. And the interest that you make is called simple interest. So let's just say you invest $700 for 3 years at 5% per annum, simple interest. Okay, so first thing we want to be able to do is to find what the actual simple interest is that you make. And the second thing is the total that you earn altogether once the interest is paid. So the total, let's say the total value of the investment. I won't say that it's earned, because if I do that, that's really, the thing you earned was the simple interest. Okay, so there's a couple of things that we're just going to make sure that you are familiar with. First of all, the formula for simple interest. And I just want to explain kind of where it comes from as well. So the interest is PRN. Okay, so that really means P times R times N. So P is the principal, R is the percentage rate, and N is the number of years, okay? Or it could be the time period. You do have to be careful, because this interest rate, that's per annum, the interest rate, which is per annum, must match the years. If it doesn't, then you've got to change them to match. So if the time period was months, then the interest rate should be months as well, and vice versa. So they basically have to make sure that these match. So we're not going to worry about that just yet, but we will go through that as well when you do have it over months instead of years. Okay, so that first formula, that's a simple interest formula. And I just want you to think about, like if you look at the first one there, so you earn 5% of the 700, and you're going to get exactly the same amount each year. See, that's equal to $35. But you're going to actually do that for 3 years. So that would be $105. And see, that's exactly the same as your formula. Your formula is P times R times N. So you simply just multiply everything together. So you go 700 times 5% times N, which is 3. And you end up with $105. Now the second part here says the total value of the investment. So as a rule, if you want to get the total value of investment, if you just get the principal and you add on the interest, then you will have the total value. You will have the total value of the investment. Meant to get the highlighter for that one. Okay, so that just means you get your 700 and you add on your 105, and the total value of your investment would then be $805. All right, so I'm just going to run through one that, like, let's just say instead of being over a number of years, it was over a number of months. So let's just say you invest $900 for 8 months instead of, for a number of years, and we're going to do that at 6% per annum. Okay, simple interest. So what is the total value of the investment? So we've asked for the total value here. So we're not talking about, you're not talking about just the interest on its own. You want to add the interest on to what the principal is. Okay, so let's just have a look at this. All right, so getting the interest, we have 900 at 6%. Now that's for 8 months. So there's a little bit of an issue here. This one here is in years, and this one here is in months. We can actually do these in a couple of different ways, but just so this matches the compound interest one, if that's 6% and that's per annum, if you want to make it months, the interest rate per month, you just got to divide it by 12. So if you get the 6% and that's 8 months, and you just get that and you divide it by 12, then you will get the total value of the investment times 8, which is, of the interest, which is $36. Now that doesn't give you the total value of the investment just yet. That's just the interest. So if you get the interest and you add it onto the 900, you get $936.